अस्सलाम वालेकुम एवरीवन। मेरा नाम नीमुल्लाह खान है। मैं यूनिवर्सिटी ऑफ ऑक्सफोर्ड में पोस्ट डॉक हूँ और आज इंशाल्लाह हम लोग एफएससी के एग्ज़ाम के एमसीक्यू सॉल्व करेंगे। ये मेरे कॉन्टैक्ट हैं जिन्होंने मुझे ये भेजे हैं और आई वाज ट्राइंग टू सॉल्व इट फॉर हिम। तो मैंने कहा कि बेहतर है कि इसकी एक वीडियो बना ली जाए और अगर किसी और को भी इसकी ज़रूरत हो तो वो भी इसे इस्तेमाल कर सकें। सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन एंड लेट्स सी हाउ इट गोज़। तो जो क्वेश्चन नंबर 1 है, सॉरी, question number 1 goes like this. We are given f of x. f of x जो है वो हमारे पास है, just try to adjust the tip sharpness a little bit. Okay, f of x जो है वो हमारे पास है minus 2x plus 6 and we have to find f inverse of x. ठीक है, पहली बात तो ये है कि जो इन्वर्स फंक्शंस हैं ये 1-to-1 फंक्शंस के लिए डिफाइन होते हैं। ठीक है, लेट्स से आपके पास अगर एक फंक्शन होता this something like f of x equal to x square और आपको कहा जाता है कि इसका इन्वर्स फाइंड करें तो हम फाइंड नहीं कर सकते बिकॉज इट्स नॉट अ 1-to-1 फंक्शन। ठीक है, बट दिस इज अ लीनियर फंक्शन तो इसका इन्वर्स जो है इट्स पॉसिबल टू टेक और इसके इन्वर्स जनरली फाइंड करना वेरी सिंपल होता है। आप सिंपल f of x को एज्यूम करें कि f of x इज इक्वल टू, इसको हम रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं y से, and then you can say y is equal to minus 2x plus 6 and then just solve it for x. x के लिए इसे solve करें तो x की वैल्यू क्या होगी, y minus 6 is equal to minus 2x, then we divide both sides by minus 2 to get y minus 6 divided by minus 2 is equal to x. Okay, जिसको आप simplify कर सकते हैं, x is equal to 6 minus y divided by 2. Basically this is the inverse function. अब आपके जो options है, next option C. ठीक है, नोट करें कि जब आप इन्वर्स फंक्शन लिखेंगे तो दिस वुड बी योर इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल। ठीक है, तो आपके पास जनरली जो इन्वर्स फंक्शन होगा, लेट्स कॉल इट एफ इन्वर्स ऑफ एक्स या जी ऑफ एक्स, आप दोनों लिख सकते हैं, जी ऑफ एक्स विच इज इक्वल टू एफ इन्वर्स ऑफ एक्स, दैट वुड बी 6 माइनस एक्स डिवाइडेड बाई 2 बिकॉज हम इंडिपेंडेंट वेरिएबल को एक्स से लिख रहे हैं। ठीक है, ये स्टैंडर्ड तरीका है, इससे आप किसी भी लीनियर फंक्शन या किसी भी 1-to-1 फंक्शन का इन्वर्स फाइंड कर सकते हैं। ठीक है, लेट्स गो टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 2. Question number 2 is f of x is equal to x and g of x is equal to x square और हमने फाइंड करना है composition of g composed with f of x. ठीक है, जनरली composition of functions ये होता है कि आप x की वैल्यू पहले फंक्शन में इनपुट करते हैं, उसका जो आउटपुट आता है उसे दूसरे फंक्शन में इनपुट करते हैं। ठीक है, तो हमारे पास इट्स वेरी सिंपल, आपके पास f जो है, f of x जो है, दिस इज x, तो x जो है, ये जो x वैल्यू है इसे आप इस दूसरे फंक्शन में इनपुट करेंगे तो दिस वुड बिकम हमारे पास बेसिकली ये हमारे पास composition of g and f होगा। ठीक है, f of x is x, इस केस में it simplifies to just x square, okay, which I think is option C in the paper, might be different but generally this is the answer. ये आप मच मोर कॉम्प्लेक्स फंक्शंस का भी कर सकते हैं। फॉर एग्जांपल अगर हमारे पास होता है, लेट्स अस्यूम कि हमारे पास होता है f of x is equal to sin of x, लेट्स से, और g of x हमारे पास यही होता है x square और हमें फाइंड करना होता है g कंपोजिशन ऑफ f of x। उस केस में हम क्या करते हैं, हम सिंपल f of x की वैल्यू डालते हैं which is sin of x and then we would square it. तो किसी भी फंक्शंस का आप इस तरह कंपोजिशन कर सकते हैं, इस तरह मल्टीपल की कर सकते हैं, मल्टीपल फंक्शंस की compositions कर सकते हैं। This was question 2. इसके बाद हम लोग आते हैं क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 पे। क्वेश्चन नंबर 3 है, हमने डिफाइन किया है डेरिवेटिव ऑफ फंक्शन एट a is equal to limit x approaches a, f of x minus f of a divided by x minus a. If this is how we define the derivative, then what would we get if we want to find limit x approaches a, x of n minus a of n divided by x minus a. Okay, so इसमें मैं थोड़ा सा डिफरेंट अप्रोच यूज करूंगा. हमारे पास जो स्टैंडर्ड डेफिनेशन है डेरिवेटिव की, derivative of function f at x is defined as f of x plus delta x minus f of x divided by delta x limit delta x approaches 0. ये हमारे पास standard definition है, ठीक है. So let's first make sure that this indeed is the definition of derivative, ठीक है. So let's say if I say, अगर मैं substitute करता हूँ x को, x is equal to a plus delta a. Okay, let's put it in our expression. So we would get f prime of a is f of a plus delta a minus f of a divided by a plus delta a minus a, which exactly becomes the derivative of the definition of the derivative. Okay, so basically आप simple एक function का derivative find कर रहे हैं, जिसमें आपके पास function इस location पे है f of a, the first element of the function. So we just have to simply write the derivative of x power n, and we know the derivative of x power n. The derivative of d by dx of x power n is n x n minus 1. ठीक है, simple question. We just need to calculate the derivative of x power n. ठीक है, हमें पता है कि जो expression है, this expression, this basically is just calculating the derivative of x power n, and we know the value of the derivative of x power n. ठीक है, this brings us to question number 4. Write the derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse of x with respect to x. Sine hyperbolic inverse of x with respect to x. I'm going to leave this question for a bit because I want to see what's the definition of sine hyperbolic x. I don't know the definition of sine hyperbolic x, so I cannot solve this question right now. I'm going to leave the next question as well. We will come to it in the end. हम इन दो क्वेश्चंस में जिसमें हमें साइन हाइपरबोलिक की इन्वर्स की डेफिनेशन चाहिए, हम इसे सॉल्व करेंगे. ठीक है, जनरली आप इसकी आइडेंटिटीज भी याद कर सकते हैं, बट आई गो विद के हमें कोई इन्फॉर्मेशन मालूम ना और हमने सारी चीज़ें फाइंड करनी है तो हम कैसे करेंगे. क्वेश्चन 4 एंड क्वेश्चन 5 ये अभी हम साइड पे रखते हैं. वी विल कम टू इट इन अ बिट. लेट्स कम टू क्वेश्चन नंबर 6. क्वेश्चन नंबर 6 में हमारे पास तो एक्सप्रेशन है x इज इक्वल टू a t स्क्वायर and y is equal to 2at, and we have to find dy by dx. तो जनरली जब आपके पास x और y एक थर्ड वेरिएबल के फंक्शन हो तो आप डेरिवेटिव को इस तरह लिख सकते हैं, dy by dt and dx by dt. Okay? और ये दोनों एक्सप्रेशंस काफी सिंपल हैं. dy because y is 2at, dy by dt would just be 2a, and because x is at square, dx by dt would be 2at, and in that case we would get rid of these two, and this would be equal to 1 over t, and then we see what are we writing it in terms of. In the answer we have the expression in terms of x, so let's try to write t in terms of x. So t in terms of x is x by a divided by under root of x by a. Okay, let me see if this is correct. Yes, x by a under root. And since we have 1 by t as dy by dx, we'll just take the inverse of it, and this would become dy by dx. Since it's 1 by t, I'll just put 1 by under root x by a, which is equal to a by x under root. Okay, let's go to question number 7. So this is a question of integral. So we have integral of exponent f of x times f prime of x dx, which is given as exponent x squared plus c. And then we have to find the value of f prime of x. Okay, then we have to find the value of f prime of x. The first thing is हमें ये पता है कि जब आपके पास एक्सपोनेंट की जो क्वांटिटी होती है उसका अगर डेरिवेटिव आपके पास यहाँ अवेलेबल हो, ठीक है, So this you can just write as exponent of e power f of x. So basically what I'm trying to say is the integral exponent to the power of f of x times f prime of x dx is just exponent f of x, okay, plus c, of course, the constant of integration. Okay. If we compare these two expressions, from this we can see that f of x is just x squared. Okay. If f of x is just x squared, then f prime of x would be just 2 of x. 2x. Okay, that seems fine as well. Now let's go to the next question, which is question number 8, जहाँ पे हमारे पास है d by dx integral from 0 to a of 2x dx. Generally हमारे पास अगर functions, well-behaved functions, that you can change the order of integral and derivative. What's the definition of well-behaved? Probably behind the level of an FSC student, but अगर जिस तरह इसमें एक linear function है, for linear function you can do it. So let's do it. हम integral और derivative का order change कर देते हैं. 2x dx integral from 0 to a. The derivative of 2x with respect to x is just 2. So you have integral 0 to a to dx. And we know that since it's a constant quantity, this would be 2 integral of from 0 to a dx. And this is just 2 a minus 0, which is 2a. Okay. And 2a is indeed one of the options, so I'm assuming this should be fine. Next question, question number 9. We have to find integral from -1 to 1 of absolute value of x dx. The best way to solve these questions is just to do them visually. This is the value of absolute value of x. This is, of course, y equal to x, and this is y equal to minus x. And you have to find the integral from -1 to 1. So multiple तरीके हैं इसको करने के, ठीक है. आप very easily verify कर सकते हैं कि this is 1 by 2, and so is this, it's also 1 by 2. Or you can see that this area can just be used to fill in this part, and then this plot is just 1. Okay. It's very easy to see कि ये जो area under the curve है, it's 1.5. ठीक है. Basically आप इसको complete करें circle को, square को, and the area of the square is 1. Since you have half of the square, the area of half of the square will be 1/2. In worst case, if you just want to find it, you can just find it from 0 to 1. Integral of x dx is x square by 2, 0 to 1, and this is indeed 1 by 2. Okay, so since we have two parts with area under the curve 1 by 2, the overall sum would be 1. Okay, so this was question number 9. Let's go to the next question. Okay, question number 10. What do we have in question number 10? Okay, so this is हमारे पास जो है दो definite integral दो ranges पे दिया हुआ और हमने एक third range का sum निकालना है, third range पे definite integral निकालना है. So let's see what we have. Integral from 0 to 3 of f of z dz. It doesn't matter, you can write f of x, f of y, f of z, as long as f of x dx या फिर f of y dy या f of z dz, it's the same. 7. And integral from 1 to 3 of f of z dz is equal to 4. And then we have to find integral from 0 to 1 of f of z dz. This is what we have to find. In general, आपके पास अगर well behaved function हो, you should know, तो हम integral from 0 to 3 of f of z dz, we can write it as integral from 0 to 1. So, yeah, integral from 0 to 1 f of z dz plus integral from 1 to 3 of f of z dz. Basically, you can break this into as many components as you want. लेकिन ये होना चाहिए कि ये जो विंडोज हैं दे शुड बी नॉन ओवरलैपिंग, और इनका यूनियन जो है वो आपके पास 0 to 3 सारी रेंज कवर होनी चाहिए। बेसिकली व्हाट आई एम ट्राइंग टू से इज, ये आप इंटीग्रल ले रहे हैं 0 से 3, आप इसे यू कैन ब्रेक इट इनटू एज मेनी कंपोनेंट्स एज यू वांट। आप बेसिकली ये कह सकते हैं कि मैं यहाँ से यहाँ तक के पहला इंटीग्रल लेता हूँ, फिर यहाँ से यहाँ तक पहला इंटीग्रल लेता हूँ, फिर मैं यहाँ से यहाँ तक दूसरा इंटीग्रल लेता हूँ, फिर मैं यहाँ से यहाँ तक तीसरा इंटीग्रल लेता हूँ। इन तीनों को अगर आप ऐड करेंगे तो इनका सम 0 से 3 तक जो इंटीग्रल है उस सम के बराबर होगा। दो कंडीशंस हैं, एक है कि इन विंडोज में ओवरलैप नहीं होना चाहिए, दूसरा ये कि इन विंडोज का यूनियन जो है वो आपके पास पूरी रेंज होनी चाहिए। ठीक है, इन दोनों बातों से मेरा मकसद है कि आपके पास विंडोज इस तरह नहीं होनी चाहिए। अगर आपके पास एक विंडो ये है और दूसरी विंडो ये है, तो इसमें आपके पास अब इन दो विंडोज का ओवरलैप है, तो आपके पास सम जो है दोनों साइड पे इक्वल नहीं होंगे। और आपके पास ये वाला केस भी नहीं होना चाहिए। लेट्स से आपके पास अगर ये थोड़ा सा जो एरिया है ये अगर किसी विंडो में भी नहीं आता, ये वाला केस भी नहीं होना चाहिए। पूरी रेंज कवर होनी चाहिए और नॉन ओवरलैपिंग रीजन होने चाहिए। लेट्स कम बैक टू क्वेश्चन। सो हमारे पास वैल्यूज अवेलेबल है, 0 to 3 तक जो इंटीग्रल है उसकी वैल्यू है 7, 0 से 1 तक जो इंटीग्रल है ये हमने फाइंड करना है। सो लेट्स से इसको हम कहते हैं x, और 1 से 3 तक जो इंटीग्रल है उसकी वैल्यू है 4। तो इससे हम बड़ी इजीली x की वैल्यू निकाल सकते हैं, 7 minus 4 which is equal to 3। ठीक है, so let's go to the next question which is question number 11। क्वेश्चन नंबर 11 हमारे पास हैं 3 पॉइंट्स A, B and C, these are collinear। हमारे पास 5AC is equal to 3AB और हमने रेशो बताना है AC और CB का। ठीक है, तो हमारे पास दो पॉसिबल सिचुएशंस हो सकती हैं। पहली सिचुएशन ये हो सकती है कि हमारे पास A जो है वो B और C के मिडिल में हो। ठीक है, जिस तरह हमारे पास ये है C और ये B। I'm assuming कि magnitudes given है 5AC is equal to 5AB because there isn't any vector direction। In this case हमारे पास ये situation हो सकता है। तो हमारे पास this is 5 and this is 3। ठीक है, 5AC इनको हम कोई arbitrary x दे देते हैं क्योंकि of course यूनिट हमें मालूम नहीं है। इनका रेशो ये है, AC और AB का रेशो 5 to 3 है। तो हम कह सकते हैं कि C to A या A to C जो डिस्टेंस है वो 5x है और A to B जो डिस्टेंस है वो 3x है। और हमने फाइंड करना है रेशो AC to CB। ठीक है, AC to CB। तो इस केस में तो ऑब्वियस हमारे पास आ जाएगा 5 to 8 रेशो। ठीक है, हमारे पास एक दूसरा केस भी हो सकता है। दूसरा केस ये है कि जिसमें A जो है वो B और C के दरमियान में नहीं है। ठीक है, उस केस में हमारे पास इस तरह का होगा। ठीक है, कि A होगा, then of course because AB distance is I'm sorry, I did a mistake. It's the other way around. It's the other way around. Let me just correctly draw it. तो हमारे पास है 5AC is equal to 3AB, जिस तरह हमने ड्रॉ किया। हमारे पास A जो है वो B और C के दरमियान है। Now AB is bigger than AC। ठीक है, 3 times AB is equal to 5 times AC। So basically this is B, this is 5x, and this is C, and this is 3x। ठीक है, और हमने फाइंड करना है द रेशो बिटवीन AC and CB। So AC is 3x and CB is 8x। So this is 3 by 8। This is one case। हमारे पास दूसरा केस ये हो सकता है जिसमें A जो है वो B और C के दरमियान ना हो। इन दैट केस हमारे पास सिचुएशन इस तरह बनेगी, यहाँ पे A होगा और चूंकि AC जो है वो AB से छोटा है तो यहाँ पे C होगा, यहाँ पे B होगा। Again the distance would be same, this would be 3x and this would be 5x। In that case हमने रेशो फाइंड करना है AC to CB। So AC हमारे पास है 3x और CB हमारे पास है 2x। So this is 3 to 2। I'm looking तो आपके पेपर में ऑप्शन है उसमें 3 to 2 ऑप्शन गिवन है, so I'm assuming that's the case। इसमें 3 to 2 जो है that's the right answer। AC is of course bigger than CB. I think it's fine. I'll just double check question number 11 just in case, but I think it's fine. Let's come to the next question. Question number 12. A slope of a straight line is under root 3, then inclination of the line is what? So that's a simple question. Slope जो है, that's the ratio of y component by x component. आपके पास under root 3 value आ रही है y component by x component की. So give me a second. Okay. So because there can be two possible options for it. Dy by dx can be negative in two coordinates, which is the second and fourth coordinate. So आपके पास एक option ये हो सकता है कि आपके पास let's say ये आपके पास line है जिसमें आपके पास y under root 3 है और x जो है वो -1 है. In that case the slope would be minus under root 3. और दूसरा आपके पास option ये हो सकता है जिसमें आपके पास यहाँ पे है आपके पास y component जो है that is minus under root 3 और आपके पास x जो है that is 1. तो आपने देखना है कि हमारे पास कौन सा एंगल जो है वो सेकंड कोऑर्डिनेट या फोर्थ कोऑर्डिनेट में आ रहा है. तो इसमें आपके पास एक पॉसिबल ऑप्शन है 2 पाई बाय 3 which is in the second coordinate. और उसका जो है वो basically you have to check the tan theta of an angle. So tan theta where theta is equal to 2 pi by 3, we have to check that, and I'm quite certain that tan of 2 pi by 3 would be minus under root 3. But generally that's the quick trick, is you can eliminate quite a few options by just looking at that this is only possible in second and fourth quadrant. और आपके पास जो answers given है उनमें काफ़ी सारे जो हैं वो फर्स्ट क्वाड्रेंट में हैं या फिर they are in 5 pi by 6. 5 pi by 6 is also in second quadrant, so we have to check. I don't have a calculator, but let's check this as well. I will double check it and we'll get back to you. Okay, let's come to question number 13. Okay, so what is the y-intercept of a straight line is for k is not equal to 0? So we have a straight line which is 2x minus 3ky minus 6k equal to 0, and we are given that k is not equal to 0, because if k equal to 0 then this is not a line. You just have 2x equal to 0, which is x equal to 0, it's a point. Which is x equal to 0, it's also a line, but it's the axis. So we can also do that. In that case, probably we would not have an intercept because this is the y-axis. You'll get just the y-axis if k equal to 0. So how do we find the y-intercept? The y-intercept is where the line intersects the y-axis. So we just put x equal to 0 because that's the point where the line hits the y-axis. If you put x equal to 0, so 2x minus 3ky minus 6k, and we have to put x equal to 0. So we get minus 3ky minus 6k. And of course, we have to solve it for y. So if we solve it for y, we get 6k divided by minus 3k, which is just 2, minus 2 in fact. So let's see if minus 2 is an option. Yes, minus 2 is an option, and this seems like the right answer. Okay, let's come to question number 14. Okay, question: a point of a solution region where two of the boundary line intersect is called a corner point. So if you have, let's say, linear constraints for a system, points where two constraints touch each other is called a corner point. Okay, what is the directrix of a parabola? Let's come to so this is the answer is corner point. Let's go to question number 15. We have to find the directrix of a parabola y squared is equal to 4a x minus a. Okay, so of course you guys have all these equations for directrix and focus of the parabola. I don't know any of these. I'll just do it with some common sense solution. I just know the definition of the parabola. The definition of a parabola is that parabola is a set of points which is equidistant from a point, which is called a focus, and a line, which is called a directrix. So I know this much, that directrix is a line which for which any distance of any point of the parabola is equal to the distance from the focus. Okay? So I'll just use this definition and try to find out what can be possible solutions for the directrix. Okay? So to do this, I just select any random value of a. Let's say I select a equal to 1. In this case, this becomes y squared is equal to 4x minus 1. And I can plot a few values for it. If I put x equal to 1, I get y equal to 0. So this is this. Let me draw it in a different color. If I put x equal to 0, I cannot put, sorry. Yeah, I cannot put values of x less than 1. So if I put x equal to 2, I get 1 and minus 1 and so on. So basically my parabola is like this. Okay. Now, of course, the focus would be somewhere here. I don't know what it is. I just know that it's somewhere here. Okay. So now let's see what are the options, possible options in the question for the directrix. The possible option is x equal to 0, x equal to a, x equal to minus a, x equal to 2a. So the first thing is x equal to a is not possible, right? Because x equal to a is this line. Sorry, it's not this line. Because a equal to 1, right? So it's this line. And this cannot be a directrix, because for this, the distance of a point for the parabola is 0, and the distance from focus, of course, is not 0. So this is x equal to 1, which is a. We also have x equal to 2a, which is this. This is also not possible because it passes through the parabola. Any line which passes through the parabola cannot be a directrix. The third one is x equal to 0, and the fourth one is x equal to a. So x equal to 0 is a valid candidate. So this is x equal to 0. This is a valid candidate. And the fourth one is x equal to minus a, sorry. The fourth one is x equal to minus a. So again, x equal to 0 is fixed. If you change a, it does not change, which cannot be like a valid directrix, because as you change a, the parabola is, as you increase a, the parabola is moving in this direction. So this line should also be changing. It should change at least in some way so that it can be a possible direction. So the only possible option which is valid is x equal to minus a. At least this is without solving any equations or without knowing any equations of directrix for a parabola. But this seems to be the only valid point. Okay, x equal to minus a. Okay, let's come to the next question. Question number 16. Okay, so we have 2 points, minus 2 and 2. They are end point of the derivative. What is the, okay, so you have 2 points. One is minus 2 and 2, and the other is 2 and minus 2. 2 and minus 2. These are these points are on the edge of the circle, and it passes through the center of the circle, because that's the definition of a diameter. So what is the center point of the two lines? The center point of the two lines will be the center of the circle, and it can very easily be seen that the center point of these two is actually the origin 0, 0. Because the distance for this is 2 under root 2, and the distance for this is also 2 under root 2. You can just simply use Pythagoras theorem, okay, to calculate this distance. So this is 2 and this is 2, so this would be 2 under root 2. Similarly, this is 2 and this is 2, so the distance would be 2 under root 2. So the center of the circle is 0, 0. Okay, so let's look at question number 17. Which of the following point does not lie on a parabola? Y square is equal to 4x. Very simple, you just put the points, the coordinate y and x coordinate, and if the left-hand side is not equal to the right-hand side, then it doesn't lie on the parabola. So I can immediately see that there is a point AA, which seems like it's slightly suspicious. I'll just put it in the equation and see if it, so y squared is equal to 4ax, and I have to check for AA. So this would become a square is equal to 4AA. So a square is equal to 4a square, and this is not true, right? This is not equal. So hence this is not a point on the parabola, not on parabola. Okay. You can check for all other points, a, 2a, a minus 2a, both of them would give you the same answer because you have the square of y, and you can see that the 2 square would become 4, and both of these are a valid point. Similarly, 80 square 280 is also, you would get t square on both sides. You can just quite easily, let's put them. So we have a to a. So remember, this is y and this is x. Let's just simply put it. 2a square is equal to 4aa, and you can see this is 4a square is equal to 4a square. Similarly, you can do it for a, you can do it for a and minus 2a. This would become minus 2a whole square is equal to 4aa. Again, 4a square is equal to 4a square. And you can also do it for 80 square and 280. This would become a t square, sorry, 2at whole square is equal to 4a t square, and this becomes 4a square t square is equal to 4a square t square. So this is the only point which is not on the parabola. Okay, with this we come to question number 18, which say which of the following curves is represented by the parametric equation. So you have x is equal to a cos hyperbolic x plus, sorry, y is equal to b sine hyperbolic theta. So what I can do is I can simply, I know that cos hyperbolic square x minus sine hyperbolic square x is equal to 1. If I'm not mistaken, this is way back from my memory of my high school, but let's try to put the equation in this form. So this become, I can just use this, I can say x by a is cos hyperbolic x, so this becomes x by a whole square minus y by b whole square is equal to 1, and we know that this is a hyperbola. Okay, remember I just used these equations. So x is equal to a cos hyperbolic x. If I have to find, I'm sorry, this is not x, theta. You have to just use different variable name. Okay, and let's put theta here as well so that we don't confuse it with this x. So if I have to separate this on the right hand side, I can just say that x by a is equal to cos hyperbolic theta, and similarly for sine, and then you just put them here. Okay, then we have 2 more questions left. So we have, this is a question of dot and cross product. We have to find I dot j cross k. There should have been some brackets in this question. You cannot write it like this, but I'm assuming that the brackets are here because we need to separate which operation is done before, or if there is like a priority for a cross product to dot product in the literature that you have seen, in that case it's fine. So generally I think we write it like this, ijk. So it goes like this. So if you take the cross product of j and k, you get I. So this becomes I dot I. If it was k to j, it would become minus I. So I dot I is just I square cos theta. I square is just 1, and cos between them is also 1, so this should be 1. We just need to double check that j cross k is indeed I. It can be minus I as well if the signs are. So it's y axis cross z axis, yeah. So basically, if you make it like this, so this is I, j, and k, and you can use the right hand rule. You take the cross product of j to k, you get a vector in the I direction. So the answer is 1. Okay, and the last question is we have two vectors. Vector 1 is 2I minus j plus 2k, and so I'll call it v1, and v2 is 3I plus 2hj, and it doesn't have a k component, so we can just say 0k. And I have to see for which value of h are these two perpendicular. When if v1 and v2 are perpendicular, then the dot product of v1 and v2 should be 0. And we know that the dot product is the product of each individual unit vector component added up. So it would be 2 times 3 plus 2h times minus 1 plus 2 times 0. I'm just multiplying the I components of both vector, the j components of both vector, and the k components of both vector, and adding them up. And we know that this should be equal to 0. So 6 minus 2h should be 0, and h should be 6 by 2, which is 3. Okay, that's it. Now I'll just pause the video and look at the definitions of the 3 questions that I left out, and I'll be back in a few seconds. Okay, so let's come back to question number 4 and 5. These are the only questions that I think we have left. So let's see. First of all, we have to find the derivative of sine hyperbolic inverse of x. So let me just do question number 4 first. So we have to find dy dx of sine hyperbolic inverse of x. So we could just use simple identity, cos hyperbolic squared x plus sine hyperbolic, let's call it theta, and this is minus, I'm sorry, minus sine hyperbolic squared theta is equal to 1. And let's try to solve it. So let's see. We can say y is equal to sine hyperbolic inverse of x. I can take sine hyperbolic on both sides, and this would become sine hyperbolic y is equal to x. Now I have to take the derivative of this with respect to x. Remember, we have d by dx here. So let's take the derivative of both sides with respect to x, and let's see what happens. So we have d by dx of sine hyperbolic y and d by dx of x. And this would become derivative of sine hyperbolic is cos hyperbolic y, and of course times dy by dx is equal to 1. This is just simple chain rule, okay? And remember, we started with this, so which implies that this is basically d by dx of y is d by dx of sine hyperbolic inverse of x. So basically we have to find this, right? We can use simple algebra. I'm going to just go to the next page. So we have cos hyperbolic y dy by dx is equal to 1. So dy by dx will just become 1 by cos hyperbolic y. And we know from the expression that we have written that sine hyperbolic y is equal to x. And we also know that sine hyperbolic y square minus sine hyperbolic y square plus cos hyperbolic y is equal to 1. So from this, I can find the value of cos hyperbolic y. Cos hyperbolic square y would become 1 plus sine hyperbolic square y and under root on both sides. So now I can just simply replace the value of cos hyperbolic y here, and this becomes dy by dx is equal to 1 divided by 1 plus sine hyperbolic square y, and sine hyperbolic square y is equal to x from our original change of variable, in fact. So this becomes 1 divided by 1 plus x square under root. So this is just a simple trick. We take the, in order to find the derivative of inverse hyperbolic, we write the expression, take the hyperbolic function on both sides, and then do the implicit differentiation and try to find the real value of the derivative of the inverse from that. So let's use the same trick, and let's take the derivative of tan hyperbolic inverse as well. Or is it? Oh, it's just tan. It's not tan hyperbolic. So we have to find the derivative of. Let me take another paper. So we have to find d by dx of tan inverse of x by a. So let's first do the simple thing, and let's just find the derivative of tan inverse x, and then we know with chain rule what to do with tan inverse of x by a. So let's do step 1. I can write this is question number 5. So step 1, we would find d by dx of tan inverse of x. Okay, again, I'm going to use the same implicit derivative trick. So I can say y is equal to tan inverse of x, and this would give me x is equal to tan of y, and I take the derivative of both sides with respect to x. So I get d by dx of x equal to d by dx of tangent of y. This becomes 1, and the derivative of tangent, if I'm not wrong, is secant square. So this becomes secant square y. Let me just double check, because it's been a very long time since I've the okay. I'm just double checking the derivative of tangent. Yes, so this is correct. And of course, we would have dy by dx here as well. And remember, we are interested in finding dy by dx because y is tangent inverse x, and we want to find d by dx of tangent inverse of x. Okay, so let's solve it for dy by dx. So dy by dx becomes 1 divided by secant square y, and we know that 1 plus tan square theta is equal to secant square theta. So we just simply replace the value here. This would become 1 divided by 1 plus x square. If I'm not wrong, I'm assuming that everything is fine. If I'm wrong, please let me know in the comment section, and I will try to correct it. Okay, so now we have the derivative of tangent inverse, which is simply 1 divided by 1 plus x square. So let's try to do it for x by a. Let's see what would happen if we have to find the derivative of x by a. So this would simply become this. Let's go to new page. I'm just going to apply chain rule. So let's assume that we have tangent inverse of x by a, and we have to find its derivative with respect to x. So we can simply write it like this. We can say x by a is equal to z, right? So then we can say that this is equal to d by dz of tangent inverse of z times d by dx of z. And we have already calculated this. This is just 1 divided by 1 plus z square. And we know the derivative of z with respect to x, which would be the derivative of z with respect to, because z is equal to x by a. So the derivative of z with respect to a is just 1 by a. And let's put the value of z here. This becomes 1 divided by 1 plus x by a whole square times 1 by a. And if we solve it, this would become a square divided by a square plus x square divided by 1 by a. So eventually a divided by a square plus x square. And this indeed is one of the options. So I'm assuming that we have solved all the questions in this exam. Hopefully it was useful to you guys. Please put your opinions in the comments. Comments में बताएं कि आपको कहाँ पे मसला हुआ है, कहाँ पे issue है. I'm sorry, naturally shift to अगर मैंने ज़्यादा बात इंग्लिश में की है तो it's just a reflex because yeah. In any case, अगर लैंग्वेज में इशू है तो I can translate. थिंक मैं इसका तर्जुमा कर सकता हूँ, तो मैं आप मुझे कमेंट सेक्शन में बताइए. और अगर कोई मिस्टेक्स हैं, because I didn't this is just from my memory of high school. Most of this stuff we don't use it now. So thank you very much, and hopefully it was helpful. Assalamu alaikum.